Welcome to the bar, come on and pull up a seat and open up your Bible, what a wonderful feast. The living bread, and we're discussing what it means for the streets, the inner cities and the burbs, and every person we meet. This is where we challenge worldviews that we hear from world news. In light of the scripture, we are here to serve you. We're your source for resources to help you on your way as you battle mean forces. This is for the people who can see the importance of sound theology and the scripture that support it. And this is for the truth lovers, biblically reforming, preaching Christ to the nations. Yeah, welcome to the modern Reformation. Yeah,
the bar, biblical and reformed.
Grace and peace, everyone. You're tuned in to another episode of B.A.R.S, Biblical and Reformed Spitters. And we have a repeat guest because we got some new stuff happening in his life. So, Regenerit, man, say what's up to the people.
What up, what up? God bless, grace and peace. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yes, my fellow Chi-Townian who
Yes,
are
sir.
not on the line, man. You've been busy, man, these past few weeks, man. You dropping a couple of videos and stuff, man. So, like what's been going on with you, man? Catch us up with what's been going on with Regenerit.
Yeah. So the last time we talked, you know, the last interview I did with y'all, my wife was pregnant, about to give birth to our son, and at this point, it's been about a year and a half, I think. And so, my son just turned 1 year old last month, so that was pretty cool to celebrate that. You know, first year, you know, from what I've heard from other parents, that 1 year, you know, you throw that birthday party for a 1 year old, and it's pretty hectic. So and that's what happened that day. Thing got rained out, it was supposed to be outdoors. It was, man, insane. And of course, my son will never remember that. But
right.
Yeah. So no, but that happened. Yeah. So I'm a father now. That's a big deal, man. That's insane. I don't have a good relationship with my father, so the reality of now I'm called to train up my son in the ways of the Lord, right? You know, it's just what's that model look like? What's that blueprint look like? And in this case, I would have to seek out, you know, other men, older men in the faith, because my dad's not a believer. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's been a joy. It's been a joy. It's been a privilege and, you know, blessing. You know what I mean? When my son was born, I was terrified. Like I hadn't even held a child or held a baby. And so I was like, he's my son. I'm supposed to hold him, and I'm scared. I'm gonna drop him. You know? But
right.
Yeah, man. It's been amazing. Just even the little bit I see, like my relationship with my son, even seeing how the parallels between the relationship with God and me as his child. You know what I'm saying? And seeing why my son relies on me so much and so dependent on me, versus how much I love him for nothing he's done for me, right? It's like a natural thing. You know, I'm his father and I love him just cut. You know what I mean? So just learning a lot of lessons like that, seeing a lot of stuff like that. Being married too now, man. I'm about to hit 2 years of marriage, so praise God for that. You know, marriage is hard work. It's a grind, but it's also a blessing and a joy. So that's been really dope.
True that.
Yeah, and then otherwise, just working on this project, man. I think it's been a lot of things that have delayed. My last project came out December of 2017, and so we're all the way into. The plan was to drop something last year, 2018. Nothing happened. Slowly but surely working on this next project I'm about to drop. So, but it's been a lot of delays, a lot of insane type of things. But overall, man, God is good, and I can't complain about where I'm at in life at all, man.
Dude, that's what's up, man. So tell us a little bit about this project, man. Like, what the title of it, inspirations behind it. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so it's going to be another EP. Another 5-song project. It's titled "A Long Way from Eden." And so the concept of that is essentially just addressing the issue of this fallen world we live in, this broken world. I got the inspiration for it, actually. I was listening to Joey B.A. I'll censor it because it's a Christian show, right? You know what I'm talking about,
right. Yeah, I got you. Yep.
So Joey B.A., I'm listening to his project, the last one that he had put out. I forget. It was like American Dream, American something, I think. Anyway, I'm listening to that project, and he was essentially just talking about all the brokenness in the world, all the injustice, all the pain, all kinds of messed up things in the world. And I was listening to it, and I'm just like, man, but he's got no answer. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's been the trend in hip hop lately. J. Cole and Kendrick and all these guys that are real conscious, but they don't have an answer. Which we know that's been the issue in hip hop since hip hop has existed, right? all the issues in the world, all these problems, they don't have a solution. Which is the beautiful thing about Christian hip hop is we do present the solution. Maybe not mainstream CHH so much. Just throwing shade. No, but yeah, at least, yeah, for the guys that's still doing the real explicit Christian hip hop reform, you know what I mean? Like addressing those issues. And so what I wanted to do is because I'm like, I don't think Joey B.A. or J. Cole or any of these guys have. Maybe they have, but I think there's a lot of unbelievers who have never heard a consistent biblical answer to why this world is messed up, right? Or maybe at the most they've sort of heard like Jesus is the answer. They've heard the quote, like the cliche phrase, but they don't understand what that looks like or how that's the case, right?
Or like what that, or like how that works, like what it means and so forth.
Right.
Like maybe they heard it and just wasn't receptive to it, you know, and because it was like, nah, I don't want to hear that, man. They feel like it wasn't tangible enough of a solution.
Right. That too. Right.
I just think, yeah.
Yeah, right. But in my mind, like even more so, right? Like you said, more so the implications. Like, what does that actually mean? How does that actually look practically when you walk it out? So that was the whole heart behind this project, is wanting to address that. And I think, and then just thinking about it with regards to my style. My style is really like sort of grimy and like gritty, like aggressive, and so I thought a album breaking down the brokenness of the world and sin and evil like that sort of dark kind of content or sound would complement the way I write and the way my style is. So that was part of it as well. But I said, how can I create music that sounds that way but would still honor and glorify Jesus? So that's where the concept for that came from.
Okay, so now let's talk about real quick production. Like what kind of, like who did you reach out to for production on this, or did you make your own beats? How did that work out for you?
Yeah, man, I wish I could make my own beats. That'll make this process move so much quicker. Save me hundreds, but right. I think it's not my lane, so I'm gonna respect the craft and go to somebody who can do it. But like, yeah, so who have you reached out for production on this album? Right. So I reached out to my guy Justin Martyr. He actually produced all 5 songs on the last EP. So I reached out to him again. That's just my guy. He's very supportive of what I do, and he knows how to make beats that complement my style and my sound. And then I reached out to a guest you've had on the show before, Blessed Nazarite.
Yeah, that's my dude. Matter of fact, one of the songs you dropped was his, if I'm not mistaken. Like, was it the last song? I can't remember if it was the last song or the first song. He actually had production on both of those songs. So I reached out to him. I think his beats naturally sort of sound like at least the direction I want to go with my stuff and what my sound is. Like, so my guy Justin Martyr, he makes all kinds of different beats. You know what I'm saying? Like he can do trap stuff. He'll do like neo soul sounding stuff, reggae stuff, like boom bap. He does a bunch of different things. Whereas I feel like Blessed Nazarite specifically makes stuff that sounds like what I do. You know what I mean? So that's what caused me to like reach out to him specifically. And I think the joints the tracks he sent me were banging. Like, so the video I put out, there was 2 beats on that, right? So the first beat was produced by my guy Justin Martyr, and then in that video the beat switches up, and that second beat is Blessed Nazarite. Okay. And when Blessed Nazarite sent me that beat, that's that beat that comes in the switch up, I instantly was like, I need to buy that one. You know what I mean? Like, he sent me a few of them, and that one, as soon as it hit, I was like, I need that beat. And yeah, same thing with the single too. That beat was just nasty. Yeah, man. So the production quality is really, like, I feel like I might know Justin Martyr. I might need to connect with him just get him on the show. I don't think I have him on the show yet. I feel like he might be. I think he's like one of those. You know how you have like those Facebook friends, those names you recognize. Like, I recognize that name when you said it, and it's like, who is this guy, and why we never talked? You know, so I need to find out who he is, man. But yeah, Blessed Nazarite, yeah, definitely love that dude, man. He very passionate about what he does, and I want to make sure, I want to see I'm clear on this, like you said. So Justin Martyr has, like you said, he has like a vast array of sounds, whereas Blessed Nazarite has like a focus focused sound, so to speak. Is that kind of what you were getting at?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that focused sound is really like right now, like where you are musically with your style, which is basically boom bap, like you said, gritty. It's a classic style, but not. I'm trying to think how to say this. It's classic. Your style is classic, but it's not dated. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, because it's like it's legit. It's like, man, you're hearing the words. You know what I'm saying? Like the concepts and the delivery. Like everything is clear about what it is that you're communicating. You know what I mean? And it's crisp and it's up to date. It's relevant. It's that's why I said when I heard the song, I was like, okay, I like this. And then like reaching out to like that art of storytelling, man. Like folks. I ain't saying that it's a lost art, but I don't feel like it gets the respect that it should. And you know what I'm saying? So you breaking down in that first video the fall of man, just and which is why like hearing you talk about the project, it's like, oh, okay, so like that first video makes a lot of sense for what we're going to get off the album.
Yeah. And what's funny is it is a lot more storytelling. So some of the songs that have not been released as singles or video, like. It is a lot more storytelling type of a project. I was actually talking to somebody about the concept, and they're like, "Oh man, that sounds like it's gonna be a lot of storytelling." I was like, "Yep, it is." So, which I don't think I've necessarily delved into that too much. That I've been rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's more so like, I mean, the most of a story I would tell is the gospel, right? You throw the gospel in the verse really quick. God created man is sinful, Christ is the answer. It's coming back. Like that's the most, I guess, quote unquote storytelling I've ever done. But to do a whole song that is communicating an entire story that's a little bit stepping out the box for me.
Right, and then not only that, but like to communicate that story with like an actual purpose. Like saying like, look, I'm trying to get to a message, and I'm gonna show it to you by the way that this story is played out, the way this story maps out, and so forth. And it actually takes it's weird, like it. I don't know. It's like for me, like if I have an actual story, like if I know, like if I'm telling like a life story, or whatever, like it almost comes easy. So like, did it come easy for you, or was it a stretch for you as you did your writing?
I think it was a stretch for me. You know what I mean? Because so I think sometimes I've had conversations with people where it, like specifically in the Christian hip hop circles, where people sort of feel like when a rapper is telling a story, you kind of lose some of the lyricism as far as like motifs and punchlines, because they're so focused on the narration specifically. Versus, if you're kind of just spazzing out lyrically with a kind of sort of a general theme, you're able to kill it more lyrically because you're not so focused on being really specific. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you exchange one for the other a lot of times. I think some artists do. And so for me, I was trying to do both things. Where it's like, okay, how do I really do focus on this story and tell this, but stay true to the heavy lyricism that I'm usually doing?
Yeah, I see it. And honestly, it's challenges like those, and I'm just speaking like as a writer, like it's challenges like those that are actually kind of fun. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it, man. Like it just shows that you have a passion for the craft. Not elevating it above God or anything like that, but just the fact that you have a passion for the art and for the craft to do things like excellently, and to sit there and take time and like kind of just, as Carlos Newton would say, stew over your lyrics. Let it cook for a little bit, and so that way when you open your mouth, you actually have something to say.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So, can I ask you this? Like, I know you said that like listening to the albums kind of brought this to you. Let me. What about like your immediate environment? Because you are in Chicago, and I don't know, like what part of Chicago do you stay in? By the way, if I can.
Yeah, I'm on the north side of Chicago.
Okay.
Belmont Cragen area, I guess, for anyone who wants to know specifics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because all right. So, and like I told you, like I'm a fellow Chicagoan, man. Like I West Side. My grandmother used to stay on the West Side, so I used to be over her house quite a bit. I had cousins all over the West Side, cousins on the South Side. My family, we actually stayed in Bellwood. Actually, my first house was in Maywood,
Okay.
And then but my first house that I remember was in Bellwood. And then,
Yeah.
And then, but before we moved out here to Nebraska, we actually moved out to Bolingbrook, which was like,
Oh wow.
you know what I mean. But my church where I was baptized was off West Side Chicago, Pleasant Ridge, whatnot. And I just know that like when I go there, I mean, just thinking about the environment, like how Chicago is now. Would you say that maybe some of the things that are going on in your immediate vicinity, like in your city, would you say that a lot of that, did any of that show up in the album? Some of the things that you observed?
Yeah, I think it influenced. So I've got a song in there that's more so speaking from the concept of the song is like a sort of an unbeliever who's kind of been around church, but like some of the foul stuff he's doing in his life, he knows is wrong, but he's cool with it. But so even in that song, I was like throwing in things that I feel like people in my city do. You know what I mean? Things that I may necessarily not have ever done in my life, but things that people in the city are doing. And I think even the concept of the project probably does come from, it probably does stem from just the way the city is right now, man. There's a lot of death happening. A lot of this stuff, I mean, there's stuff all over Chicago happening, but even a lot of it is more so on the South Side. So I feel like I don't see as much as the totality of what's really going on over here. But yeah, my city. There's a rugged element even to the city of Chicago, and I think that's what comes out of me as an MC from Chicago. I think that's part of why my style is the way it is. But yeah, there is a lot of brokenness here, a lot of gang violence and shooting, and I mean, even I guess to tell a quick story, like I'm living in a neighborhood that's at least from I grew up in like grittier parts of Chicago, and so where I'm living now with my wife and my son is considered sort of a nicer neighborhood, far away from all of that, right? But even living over here, there's one day me and my wife with our son, who was only a few months old at this time, we're walking home from the store because the store was just a few blocks from us. We're walking home, we're about a block away. And I hear something pop up like a popping sound behind us, and I turn around slowly, like, what is that? I'm thinking, what person is setting off fireworks in the fall? I was like, what's? I turn around and it's literally two cars driving past. Both of them got a guy sticking out of the passenger seat window, pointing guns at each other, shooting, driving past. And so I've never in my life, all the years I lived in Chicago, all the crazy neighborhoods I lived in, I've never in my life seen anything like that. And so just knowing that kind of stuff is all over the city. It's not limited to certain parts. That stuff is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to say to that point, man. A lot of people think that, just because it doesn't happen so much in your neighborhood, don't mean that it can't happen at all. And that's a sobering fact.
Yeah, and then I think there's a part of it where it's like the neighborhoods are changing, certain demographics of people are moving out or moving to other parts, and so I guess to argue that the solution isn't like kicking certain people out of neighborhoods because like then they're gonna go somewhere else and wreak that same havoc. That's why the gospel's got to be that thing that changes the heart ultimately. It doesn't matter if neighborhoods get nicer because people are still sinful and things will still happen. It does, you know what I mean? And so that's why, again, for me in my city of Chicago, like the gospel, as in everywhere, the gospel was the answer. And so that's why I wanted to address the grittiness and the realness of sin and evil in this world and still offer that hope of Christ. That's the only thing that can actually really do something about this.
I can dig it, man. So, out of all the songs, you said you got about 5 songs off this, right? For this EP, right?
Yep.
Is there anyone that you got selected as a favorite?
That's good. Man. So I really do like the video, the song in the beginning that I put the video out for.
Okay.
I really do like that song, specifically that switch up. When that part hits, I like that. I like that part a lot. I was really excited to release that. Just because of. So I'll say this: I'm trying to grow my creativity as an artist as a whole, not just a rapper. I think there's a distinction that can be made there, and so I think I like. So I'll to speak on that distinction real quick. Like I think, as far as being a rapper, like there's people who can just spit, like they're nasty. They can rhyme really well. They got flows, cool. But then you got people who can do that, but then they don't make the greatest albums or songs even. And so I think an artist, I think if someone's a well-rounded like artist, they're able to create good music and not just be good at the rhyming part and the rapping part, but they're able to construct songs and concepts and all kinds of really cool things. And even when they're selecting a beat or in the mixing mastering process, of the mixing process, being like, all right, let's cut this part out of the beat, let's add something in here, like to have more of those ideas beyond like, all right, here's a beat, I'm gonna rap on it at the end, like, all right, let's do some creative
right.
And so I, with that song specifically, I'll just be real. Like so the first part of that beat, right? I felt like if this entire song is just this beat, I'll lose people. They'll tune out. It'll be boring, essentially. But I was like, how can I liven this up? What can I do to this to make it where it'll keep the attention? And so I was like, what if the beat switched up? And so I felt like the Blessed Nazarite beat that comes in secondly, that switch up would just be so drastic. It would affect how the whole song would sound, and like, oh snap, you know what I mean? And so I felt like I'm proud of that song in the sense of it was something that I came up with that I've been getting a lot of good feedback on. Yo, that switch up was, so I'm like, praise God that he gave me that idea to do something creative like that, you know. So for that reason, I'm proud of that one. But a favorite, I think it's a tie. But man, it's hard, man, because I actually really like the stuff I did on this. Like even the Fractured single I put out, I was really nervous to drop that joint because I feel like it's very different from anything I've released prior, right? So in the last project, The Call, one of the critiques I got back was like, man, your flow is the same every song. Your flow is the same all the time. You got to switch it up a little bit. So I think on this project, I was trying to switch things up, and specifically on the song Fractured, the single, I was like, man, let me do something different like I don't usually do or haven't done. And so I was nervous to release that because I'm like, I don't know how people are going to respond to this. And for the most part, I've gotten really good feedback on it. So that's been encouraging, as well as something that I've wrestled with since I've dropped that last project and all this, year and a half since. As an artist, I've been wrestling with like, how do you take constructive criticism, use it to grow, versus trying to be a people pleaser and just doing everything someone else dictates. You know what I mean? So the conclusion I've come to is like you as an artist, you've got to just create what you feel led to create, and people who are meant to hear it and like it will, and those who aren't won't. You know what I'm saying? But you as an artist got to just create what you got to create. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's like you're right. It has to be like a little balance. Like some people, like for example, like if somebody comes to you and say, "Hey, you're making a good song, but like you need to get a better mic, so the recording can be clear," like stuff like that. Or if they would say, "Hey, I like how you said this here, like check your vocal fluctuations." So since a vocal fluctuation here would have made it pop.
Right,
like
exactly.
I think like that is for sure. If somebody would just be like, "Dude, man, like you need to rap about something else," you know what I mean? Like that point, that's when it's like, nah, you just not saved or whatever, like whatever.
Right.
I mean, no, I feel like there is a perfect balance there, and I think like as artists, I mean, like if you really trying to be an artist, I mean, of course you should seek the desire to kind of expand your skill. You know what I mean? Like you said, just kind of step out of your comfort zone just a little bit, just to branch off, just to do something new. So that I mean, like I'm saying this for me. Like I guess maybe I'll speak a little personally. Like me personally, like. I get bored with myself, like after a while, and so it's like I was like, all right, man, like I gotta figure out a different cadence or something, like like I challenge myself on that respect, and so like I know like if I'm doing if that's how I'm feeling about, of course I am my own worst critic. I don't know how you are about you, but like I am my worst. Like I hate my voice and everything. I don't even know why I record music, like I just like I push myself to be that. But I guess like I said, it's that balance. Like I don't do what I do to necessarily please people, but however, listening to what they're saying and then taking into consideration, just weighing the facts. It's like, okay, like is there some legitimacy to what they're saying, or are they just haters? And yeah, so right. Considering that thing, but at the same time, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm gonna do me.
Yeah, for sure, and I think just as MCs, as artists, we've got to constantly be trying to grow in our craft. Like we should be seeking to get better. but yeah, like you said, determining what is really getting better versus, all right, this person's just right, like hating, like you said, they just don't, you know what I mean? Which has been a huge wrestle for me in creating this project. That's something I've gone through heavily in since the last project to this one, there's been a lot of that, like wrestling with what needs to get changed versus, you know, what is just people having their own preferences and not liking certain things I do.
Yeah, straight up, man. So man, we're definitely looking forward to this project. Can you tell everybody like where we're going to be able to find this project and so forth?
Yeah, it should be everywhere. It'll be on all the streaming sites and Amazon and iTunes, you know, all these different. You'll be able to buy it in all the different digital stores. You'll be able to get it on streaming, Spotify, and Apple Music, and all that kind of stuff. It is going to be a free project, though, so I'll specifically be pushing the Noise Trade link to go get it for free. But yeah, for anyone who would like to actually support, or if it's more easily accessible on streaming, it's going to be on all that stuff. But yeah, I will be pushing it as a free download.
That's dope. So, and the release date is when?
Don't have one yet, man.
I feel you. I'm the same way with mine. So let me give a little like backstory to that. So the year and a half that I've been trying to record this project has been insane. Like so many behind the scenes things beyond my control that took place that just really delayed this thing. So ideally I wanted to have literally everything ready to go, and then I was gonna consistently start dropping stuff to lead up to the release, right? I wanted to initially start releasing like the video and the single with the release date already planned out. But because of so many behind the scenes things happening, it almost looked like this project was not going to drop. And so I had already recorded the video and was like, yo, this video is a genuinely good video. This is some good quality I have. Let me at least put this out. And so the response and feedback that I was getting from the video and just talking to people and telling people, man, there's a reality if this project might not even come out. No, you got to release this. This thing should get put out. You know, if you got to pay some extra money, make it happen to get it to come. And so I took that encouragement. I went with it. So this project definitely is dropping. The latest delay specifically was artwork, which if I could speak to this really quick, Christians, we gotta have a good work ethic, man. Yeah.
We can't use grace as an excuse to be like a month after you said you'd get something done for somebody. But oh my bad. Like, come on, man. Like, I understand that things happen. That's the reality. And for some of the people who have been helping me behind the scenes of this project, there are genuine things that have happened in their lives that have delayed the production. Absolutely. But then for some people, it's just like, you know, they don't deliver when they say they will after you've paid them already. And then when you really are reaching out, like, hey, what's up with this? Then they stop responding to you. I've experienced some crazy things, and I'm not bitter, but it's just like, I guess I got a word for somebody. You know what I'm saying? The spirit is imparting. So it's a word for somebody. No.
That's a legit beat, though, man. It's like, yo, I paid you. Like, baby, I'm trying to do good business by you. I gave you my money. You know, all I'm asking for is that you be faithful and give me the price. And you're right. That's just a work ethic thing. That's a Christians should have the greatest work ethic. We supposed to. We should. You would think so. So, man, I hope and pray, man, that changes, man. Like, yeah. I know the struggle, man. Like I've stopped dealing with people. Like really, once I got my product, it's just like, man, I just won't give you my business anymore. I'm gonna find another Christian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we just gonna do that, man. But like, so we definitely be praying for you, man. And definitely looking forward to hearing this project when it drops. Man, just I gotta ask the question that I ask on every show that I've been asking. Who are you? I mean, usually I know when people are working on projects, they kind of stay away from listening to other folks. But have you been listening and following anybody lately?
Man, so in the last year, I think it's safe to say, right? I think the last time we did an interview, I probably was talking about these artists as well, but I probably was like just getting into them. So I've got deeper into their catalogs and stuff now, and it's really impacted me. It's a secular guy, but I'll say it anyway. So there's a guy named Homeboy Sandman. I think there's certain people that are familiar with him for sure. Dude's been in the game, secular, underground, been in the game, I think since like 2007 he dropped his first album. Man, that dude's creativity, that dude has impacted me heavily. That's somebody that for sure I have been listening to a lot. And so Homeboy Salmon and A$AP Rock.
Yeah, I remember last time we talked, man. Last time we was on the show, you got in the inbox to me about him, and I checked him out, man, and like I dug his stuff. I never really got deeper into his stuff, but like I was like, okay, yeah, I can actually vibe with this guy and whatnot. And I've been meaning to revisit and just actually analyze his work.
Right. Yeah, that dude's on a whole other level as far as like depth and what he's saying. His vocabulary game is crazy. Anyway, the way that those guys, I feel like, have impacted me, the things I've gleaned from them. Again, they're unbelievers, so I'm not like co-signing their content. But what I think I've gotten from them as artists is the fact that these guys, they are guys who make whatever art they want to make. It's not dictated by, as far as I can tell on this side of things, like what's popular or what's trendy or what. They just do what they want. Like even for someone like Homeboy Sandman, whatever the beat is how he'll rap. He sort of lets the beat dictate what he'll do on the song. He's not someone who's locked into a specific flow all the time or gets beats that work with a certain flow. You know what I mean? You could tell he's someone who just has producers send him beats, and if he just thinks a beat is dope, he'll rock on it and he'll do whatever the beat sort of dictates. And that's kind of, and then here's the thing, as big of a fan as I am of the guy and as dope as I think he is, he has songs that I think are whack. He has songs that I'm like, why did you release this song? Like, what is this? What were you thinking that you thought this was dope to put out? But I'm like, at the end of the day, I think dude is a true artist in that he just makes what he wants. He's like to him.
I'm sorry about to say, you mostly just respect the fact that, like, yo, this is where you are. This is what you want to do. You want to drop it, and I'm not mad at that because I'm going to do the same thing, basically.
Right, and it hit me as a believer with like, look at the confidence these unbelievers have to just create what they feel like what they just want to create. Versus look at us as Christians a lot of times trying to do what the world is doing. As opposed to being free in God. Like we actually know God, who is the ultimate creator, who's the most creative, and we're trying to bite unbelievers. like create what you want to create. Do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at artists that have a specific desire to do it full time, and so they've kind of gotta, make music a certain way to really get out there. But for the true artist who just wants to create just cause, like to someone who's like, I just want to make art, do it well for the glory of God. Like create what God's leading you to create, man. Like you know God, you have the ultimate creator even dwelling within you, right? His spirit is in us. And so like the fact that these guys as unbelievers feel so free to create what they want versus us as Christians feeling like we're limited or we gotta do it a certain way because the world is doing, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the inspiration I've drawn from listening to these guys. Like, man, I can just create what God is leading me to create. I don't have to feel trapped. Like these unbelievers look very free, and we know that at the end of the day, believers are the free people. We've been freed from sin. We've been freed from, worldly thinking. We've been freed from all these different things. And yet these guys who are under the bondage of sin and slavery are so free in the way that they create. You know what I mean? Versus, that, I don't know if that's getting weird. I'm starting to sound weird, but.
I feel you though. Yeah. And one of the things, only thing I would add to that is like, man, well, like as far as like creators, especially Christian creators, man, have fun. Like do like,
right.
I mean, like have fun with your stuff. And I'm not talking about making. I don't know. Me personally, I don't like. This is a preference thing. I'm not trying to knock anybody really. But, Like I'm not. Like, for example, like I'm not a fan of like when Christian rappers try to have like a dance song. I don't know. I don't know. Like it's fun for somebody. There are people out there. There's a community out there that loves that. Like they like that. And it's usually like they throw in a song and they get up and they have like this dance song or whatever. Like this stuff, but like they're having fun. And it's like I can't be mad at the fact that you're having fun with what you're doing. Like I'm not gonna knock that. But like me, I'm kind of just like, man, even if you got a serious song, like there's a way that you can write like with some wit and humor about a serious thing, and so forth. And as a matter of fact, and I hate to use this guy as an example, like Eminem is like a prime example. You know, he can be talking about something serious, but with such wit, with such a sarcastic wit and humor, and whatnot. Although his was like vulgar, but I'm saying, like, as Christians, like we can have fun with how we're writing. You know what I'm saying? Like we can be ourselves. Do what you do. Just put some quality behind it. Put some work into it. You know, have fun. Praise God. Edify the saints. You know, and I mean, let's press on. Let's do what we do. You know, and so forth. And I gotta say, like, personally, like me, like I'm like, there's things about the Christian hip hop community that I'm a little upset with and whatnot. Not a whole lot, and I want to get into a soapbox on that. But I gotta tell you, man, like, really, like, there's a lot of things that I'm really liking, and I'm liking the fact that there's like a lot of underground artists like you, who are standing on principles and, you know, and actually putting out some good art and whatnot, man. And so like knowing that excites me for what's coming in the future, and I just hope to see it grow and grow.
Yeah, praise God, man. I appreciate that. I've been encouraged by a lot of. That's been another really dope thing so far with the single and the video that been put out. Just the feedback I've gotten from a lot of MCs I look up to and respect. Like, there's Christian hip hop, you know, there's Christian rappers that when I was a new believer 10 years ago, when I was 16 in high school, I was just on YouTube searching for Christian rappers. And there's people that I came across who I was like, yo, this dude is dope. This is a beast. I'd love to connect with people who I now know, people whose numbers I now have and I talk with. And they're telling me, man, you're dope. You're a true MC. You're one of us. All that. Like, so again, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to look at what God has done, because God is doing things with this music for me that I can't do in and of myself. I can't take this thing as far as it has. I can't make the video get all the views it's gotten. I can't, you know what I'm saying? And so that's something I've been tripping on. Like, man, God, I guess, to speak to the point of creating what you feel led to create. I think by the grace of God, I've been faithful to do what I want to do versus like what I'm tempted to do because it's trendy and hot. Doing what I believe God's leading me to do, and Him doing so much stuff beyond what I could have ever done with it. You know what I'm saying? Already, just from a single and a video. Like, yeah, it's been a lot of stuff that God is doing. And I think part of that comes from, by His grace, being faithful to what He's calling me to do and not trying to mimic what someone else is doing.
True that. That's what's up, man. Hey, how can people, like, if they're looking to connect with you or looking to find you on the social media outlets, man, let them know, what are your addresses for them?
Man, it's all Regenerit. Literally everything is Regenerit. So it's Regenerit spelled incorrectly on purpose. You know, I don't like to see that and be like, why you spell it wrong, right? It's spelled incorrectly on purpose. The word regenerate and regenerate are spelled the same. So as a rapper, I've spelled it the way it's pronounced.
I got you.
So Regenerit. That's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's Facebook. Literally everything is Regenerit. My YouTube channel, Regenerit. It's all the same. But yeah, that's where I'm at on all the socials. Everything Regenerit.
Sounds good, folks. You guys have been listening to Regenerit by way of Chi-Town. That's my hometown, man. I hope to make it there before the end of the year. And you guys heard where you can find them on social media. Be on the lookout for a single. Hey, drop the names of your singles for the folks real quick that you dropped.
Yeah, so the music video is called In the Beginning. That's on my YouTube channel. It's on my Facebook page. It's all over. And then the single is Fractured, which again is on all my social media pages and it's on my YouTube channel as well.
So, yeah, folks, make sure that y'all check those out.